6:03 is the time right now. Let's get back to our top story this morning. A call for unity after an assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. He's in Milwaukee, Wisconsin this morning, arriving there last night in preparation for this week's Republican National Convention. He was initially going to delay his arrival by a couple of days, but changed his mind following that shooting. Now, federal investigators continue to look into the motive of the gunman who opened fire during Trump's rally Saturday in Butler, Pennsylvania. Trump was injured. One person at that rally was killed and two others were critically wounded. Jacqueline Quinn joins us now. She has been following this investigation. She is near Lafayette Park. And Jacqueline, D.C. police closed the park yesterday out of an abundance of caution.
Yeah, and we are seeing a number of measures. This morning I saw at least one police patrol car around here, but what we're seeing, just where I'm standing, I see cones, yellow tape, and then of course these barriers to where you would walk into Lafayette Square from H Street and 16th, and you'd pass the General Andrew Jackson statue, and then you'd pop over there to Pennsylvania Avenue. But now this is sort of a layer of protection around the White House and to protect the president. So it kind of gives you a sense of the unrest and the security measures that have stepped up around here. So seeing these measures, you really do get a sense that something is happening, and that's why President Joe Biden advocated for calm in the face of this attempted assassination. He also called for an independent review of how the gunman, 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks of Bethel, Pennsylvania, was able to get so close. Estimates say it was under 200 yards away from the former president, and Crooks was actually able to take a number of shots before a Secret Service sniper shot Crooks. So not only was the former president Donald Trump injured, a bullet struck his ear, but a firefighter attending the rally was killed, and then again two others also injured. So how was he able to scale a roof and take aim? This highlights the security concerns right now around protecting presidents. And in Sunday's address to the nation, though, President Joe Biden mentioned the regularity of attacks from January 6th to that on Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi's husband and others, and why this trend, it seems, has to stop.
We can't allow this violence to be normalized. The political record in this country has gotten very heated. It's time to cool it down. We all have a responsibility to do that. Yes, we have deeply felt strong disagreements. Disagreement is inevitable in American democracy. It's part of human nature. But politics must never be a literal battlefield, or God forbid, a killing field.
He also mentioned where we stand with the investigation. Right now he says, well, really specifically, it's not all clear, all of Crooks' affiliations, and there is no clear motive at this time. Meanwhile, what we're feeling across the country is a number of security measures through police departments, beefing up some of those protocols. Here in D.C., you can expect to see more police presence as they work to ensure safety in this area. But we're going to stay on top of this and let you know of any changes. For now, Wisdom and Annie, back to you.
Jacqueline Quinn reporting live. Thank you. 6:06 is our time. Since the country's founding, 4 U.S. presidents and 1 candidate have been assassinated, starting with Abraham Lincoln in 1865. Then 16 years later, President James Garfield was shot and died weeks later. In 1901, William McKinley was shot in Buffalo. Then most recently, John F. Kennedy in 1963 in Dallas. Kennedy's brother, Robert F. Kennedy, was shot and killed while campaigning for president in 1968.
Now, since McKinley's assassination, there have now been 8 attempts on U.S. presidents or candidates, including George W. Bush in 2005, Ronald Reagan in 1981, and Gerald Ford in 1975. Well, many of the focuses on Saturday's shooting and will likely continue to be an attempt on former President Trump's life. But we cannot forget that someone did lose their life in the midst of this violence.
Coming up in our next half hour, we're looking into how the man who was killed while attending the Trump rally is being remembered by his friends and family. And we will be following any new developments that come out of this shooting investigation and the RNC in Milwaukee. Of course, the convention running today through Thursday. We'll have coverage all week right here on WUSA 9 and on our free streaming app and also WUSA 9 Plus. In our next half hour, we'll have a live report from Milwaukee to give us a look at the preps currently underway.